There's time. Give me another biscuit. Morning, everybody. Significant story now. Iraq is on the brink. Another major city falling into the hands of Islamic insurgents. Al-Qaeda militants storming across northern Iraq, leaving destruction behind. First, Al-Qaeda took the second largest city in Iraq, that's Mosul. Then they took Tikrit, Saddam Hussein's former hometown, and now we wonder what is next. Big developments here. I'm Bill Hemmer, and welcome here to America's Newsroom, and a big welcome to Patty Ann, too.
Good morning, Bill. Great to be back. I'm Patty Ann Brown, in today for Martha McCallum. Nearly 4,500 Americans gave their lives fighting to liberate Iraq, and now an estimated 500,000 Iraqis are fleeing the city of Mosul with their families, looking for refuge. There's word they're asking for UN help.
Connor Powell now live in Jerusalem, and wonder whether the U.S. will give help to or not. Connor, the latest today, first of all, is what?
The situation in Iraq is spiraling out of control. The country's government and military is literally disintegrating before our eyes. Iraq's leaders say they are determined to regain control of the country, but how, Bill, they will do that is a very, very big question. Al-Qaeda-inspired militants now control three major cities, Mosul, Tikrit, and Fallujah, and the fighters of the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria are now only about 100 miles outside Baghdad, the capital. We're also hearing now that Iraq's Kurds, who are pro-Western, pro-American, have taken control of the northern oil city of Kirkuk as a precaution now that government forces have fled there. Iraq's Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki said today that his government will fight and take back the lost ground, but his country is divided politically, and Iraq's security forces, which were U.S. trained, have failed to fight in Mosul and in Tikrit, and they are fleeing their posts. It is very possible, Bill, that we are seeing the disintegration of Iraq.
It is a stunning turn of events, and happening so quickly as well. And you wonder, what will the president do? This is another major foreign policy issue on his plate. Is the U.S. proposing to do anything, Connor?
Well, from what we're hearing, the Iraqi government has put in requests for military and assistance from the United States, that what they are seeking appears to be some type of airstrikes, U.S.-led airstrikes against militants in these cities of Mosul and Tikrit and other places. But so far what we're hearing is the White House has rebuffed these requests. The Obama administration said yesterday that the Pentagon would send military assistance to the Iraqis, but they're not going to send any type of airstrikes from what we're hearing. Obama said yesterday, the White House said yesterday, that the Iraqi leaders need to take security responsibility for the entire situation there. Now, at the heart of this is the Sunni-Shia split, which has divided the Iraqi government for decades now. This is a situation that is only just beginning to bubble up. We could see Iraq really split in the coming days completely, Bill.
It is an unbelievable thing to watch. Connor Powell, thank you for that. To viewers at home now or at work or on your mobile device where you're watching us today, we knew there was trouble in Ramadi and Fallujah for some time. We've been watching developments there. Remember, that's the Anbar province. That's Sunni territory. That stretches west of Baghdad toward the Syrian and Jordanian border. But this week alone, on Wednesday, 2 days ago, Mosul fell, and they came down the Tigris River. Yesterday, Tikrit fell, Saddam Hussein's former hometown. He's buried just south of Tikrit. Even today, with an Iraqi flag draped over that tomb. The town of Kirkuk up here in the northeast, remember the Kurdish territory is in the northeast, that had been threatened to fall, but earlier today the Wall Street Journal reporting that Kirkuk is still in the hands of the Kurds. So now you see this movement from the north, this movement from west to east, and you wonder how these forces collide here on Baghdad, and can ultimately these Iraqi security forces, the United States military, work so hard and so long for 10 years to try and fortify whether or not they can hold Baghdad. That's an open question right now as we're trying to figure out what happens here. So we're watching this throughout the morning. It's a significant security threat for these Islamic militants that for years have wanted to connect Iraq to Syria and create their own territory. They're closer to doing that right now. So watch this.
Yeah, teaming up. And meanwhile, as Iraq teeters on the edge of terrorist control, we are getting reports that the Iraqi government pleaded with the White House to step in and launch airstrikes against terror staging areas. But that urgent call for help was turned down. We'll get much more on that and reports from the White House, the Pentagon, and from Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters on the gains made in Iraq that might now be gone.
Big developments on this. Also, 10 years of blood and sacrifice, possibly given back in a matter of weeks. Is this what we fought for? Send us your thoughts today at Bill Hemmer and Patty Ann Brown on Twitter, and you can talk to us throughout the next 2 hours on our program. We'll get you some ideas and some of your thoughts on this too. So big issue on the table today.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about it.